Does everyone remember a couple of weeks back when the federal Liberals, because of the heat everyone's taken for the cost of living, and specifically grocery store prices, they said by Canadian Thanksgiving, we're going to have some plans in action. Do you remember this? We all remember this.
Yes.
Okay. Well, guess what? It's Canadian Thanksgiving, basically. And yesterday, Industry Minister François-Philippe Champagne laid out a plan to stabilize grocery prices. Now, grocery prices in August rose 6.9% from a year ago, while overall inflation was at 4%. So as everyone knows, I'm not breaking any news to you at home, grocery prices have been stupid, ridiculous. The Liberals are also pursuing changes to the Competition Act, which Champagne is calling a first step towards modernizing the law. In reality, what yesterday was an announcement that we're going to hear an announcement from the grocery store chain soon on stabilizing pricing and all this. Also, the industry minister broke news to the country saying he's just realized that flyers exist. Take a look.
And I can tell you, I've been looking at some flyers this morning, and you already see action in terms of different grocers adjusting.
That's what flyers do, right?
I think the flyers.
What do we think of the flyers comment, Tammy?
That was the one that hit me the hardest. As soon as he said it, I was like, pardon? That's what flyers do. They always show you the discounts and the price adjustments that are being made because they're advertisements trying to lure you in, right? So since the history of flyers, that's what flyers have been doing.
Tale as old as time.
Tale as old as time.
Flyers be flyering.
Yeah, flyers be flying.
Yes.
So I don't see how that is part of a plan, or at least even a part of the progress that's being made. That's not progress. That is a regular Thursday morning when you got your flyers in and you looked and things are on sale.
Meredith Shaw?
Maybe they meant American Thanksgiving. Maybe they're confused at the timing of when the Thanksgiving is. It's just a huge problem. I know you've got Daily Bread Food Bank coming in to speak with you. I mean, the prices have gotten to a level where people who used to have facility buying groceries are now in a different position, which puts pressure on the people who were having trouble before that. So it's for our family and beyond, it's very challenging. And to hear an announcement about an announcement, not satisfying.
Well, I think politically, look, I'm gonna be as kind here as I can possibly be, and sometimes that's difficult for me. But when no, honestly, because I have low tolerance for untruths, and there's another phrase I could use here, but it's before 8 o'clock. The federal Liberals are looking at what those polling numbers are. And most politicians, I'm not saying just Liberals, but Conservatives, NDP, poll numbers do guide a lot of what we see when it comes to either political strategy or campaign policy or just general policy. So the prices in our grocery stores is not a new story. Now, just over the summer, when the polls started to do what they did and the federal Conservatives went, now you're starting to see more press conferences. Now you're starting to see what we are told is action. We're not seeing it yet. Someone email into the show and let us know if you're seeing it yet, because I think most people would agree we haven't. And I think the one thing look, Justin Trudeau and the government's been in since 2015. Normal political thought says when you're in third term, I don't care who you are, I don't care what you've done, there is a general fatigue. There is a general feeling in the population, provincial, federal, municipal, that when you get this deep into leadership, people will find reasons to not be happy with you. That is a normal political stance in Canada and really in a lot of places around the world. What you're adding to that, though, is the fact that this issue, this cost of living issue, seemingly has been ignored. The cost of living issue has been we have our Prime Minister numerous times on record, whether it's with CBC or us here at City News or whatever, saying, well, I mean, I can't really do anything about housing. Well, I can't really do anything about the cost of prices of food in stores right now. And to a certain extent, I know what Justin Trudeau is saying, but the general, you and I and everyone here don't want to hear that. Governments are there to govern. And what I'm seeing yesterday from the Minister of Industry and what I've heard, the pony show on this through the House of Commons has been severe when it comes to prices in grocery stores. I hope this works. I am rooting for this to work. I sometimes give the impression that I want things to fail. That's not the case. No. I want everyone to be able to afford important things in their life the way we had 4 years ago, 5 years ago. I understand that. But I don't buy, we're going to press conference our way out of this. This is an act I've seen before from this government over and over and over again. Look, I hope it works. I hope you go to the store today or tomorrow and you see change. But I don't think we're going to see change.
No, I've been seeing a lot of people posting $120 turkeys, quite frankly. I've been seeing that go around.
120 bucks.
That's what I've been seeing on some of those social media posts. And I mean, you talk about the cost of living, you talk about the cost of food prices. Yes, that is an isolated issue, but it's connected to so many other things. You know, if people can't afford to eat, then other bills start being incredibly problematic, and then we see, you know, we've already talked about housing and shelter systems, and you see it show up in, you know, transportation and TTC and safety. So yes, this is a food issue, but I mean, it's a life issue that we're all having
100%.
right now, and there needs to be more action on that.
Tam, politically, final thought: if the cost of living issue stays where it is, how problematic is this for the current sitting government in this country?
I would say very problematic, because the Conservatives who have moved up in the polls over the summer, over the last few months, they have been really hitting this issue hard, the lack of affordability just right across the country. And it seems to be working, because they are consistently now ahead in the polls when it comes to the governing Liberals. So I think that if this doesn't work, we're going to have to see, you know, really how, if they can keep pumping on this issue, then I think that really, by the time we come around to the next election, we could see some change.
Yeah. And Pierre Poilievre has been very disciplined on this issue. Consistently, same message, just inflation, cost of living, all the notes that he's been hitting. We'll see. There's not a federal election set anytime soon in this country, but watch this space.